Hey everybody, welcome back to the hiding spot. This is our third episode, the Big Three. uh, I'm your host, KDR Killer.
Your host, not KDR danksymphony.
Okay, what the?
I don't know.
Alright,
I was just trying to come up with
just
something clever.
try to be unique. Okay.
Yeah.
Today we have a very interesting topic. Not gonna lie. We have what is going on in space. If you guys don't live under a rock, you guys should know that Jeff Bezos has gone into space and everything, and has his own space company and everything. So that's what we're pretty much gonna talk about today. Of like the future of humanity and what this brings us. Back to the futurization, you could say.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about all that, and we're gonna talk about how Jeff Bezos' head looks like at the end of an eraser.
Okay.
I'm not wrong.
He's a secret admirer to Jeff Bezos, ladies and gentlemen. He
Yeah,
has.
yeah. I secretly have a shrine in my bedroom. Actually, I
Can't
pray to him every day for him to give me money.
just be like, Holy Bezos, give me the money. All right.
Holy Bezos, please bestow me your wealth.
He's just over here, well. Oh my god. So, as you guys know, Jeff Bezos completed his space trip to, space pretty much.
Yeah,
So yeah, if you guys didn't know, Jeff Bezos owns a space company called Blue Origin with his brother Mark. I think that's his name. Not 100% sure.
not
And
Markiplier,
not
just
Markiplier.
an Mark.
And fun fact, he was supposed to be the founder of he's the founder of Amazon, and he stepped down as a CEO this month. It's a fun fact.
Get back to the whole Markiplier thing. Maybe it is Markiplier. He's like his secret sibling, and that's how he has so much fame on YouTube. He's just paid YouTube to give him all the
I don't
subscribers.
know. Mark Bezos doesn't look like Markiplier. he looks
Hmm.
he looks very bald to me.
An affair.
And a fair.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know, man.
All
Yeah,
right, let's go.
Markiplier is very chiseled, and
Okay. All right.
Jeff
All
Bezos just
right.
very Jeff Bezos.
Oh.
Moving on.
Moving on. So yeah. So Blue Origin completed his space trip with Jeff Bezos, and turns out any billionaire can pretty much buy his ticket to space. Believe it or not. Obviously, it's going to cost them. There's no exact price on the internet yet. Well, obviously, they're not selling it like plane tickets. You're like, oh, let me like you get free peanuts if you buy
Well,
two
first
tickets.
class or economy?
Economy, exactly. You're like, we hope you don't
Economy, you
bring
go in
lunch.
the field room.
Economy goes outside and gets carried by a rope.
Yeah, their seats are just tied to a rope, and they just get burned off when they're trying to go to the space.
Exactly. So yeah, Jeff Bezos went with his brother in an 11-minute flight. Fun fact, the space. You would think that they would be like up there longer, but I mean to be honest, what else would you do? I mean, pretty much you're up there like in a bounce castle, pretty much.
Yeah, there's not really anywhere to go in space as well. It's just an empty void currently. There's nothing. There's no hotels. There's nothing. Which there is actually supposed to be a hotel in the works right now. Big, awesome idea. I think definitely going to be a tourist attraction.
Yeah,
But currently, right now, there is nothing but void.
and the moon
Nothing but void.
obviously, because I mean that's the only place we could really go right now. So fun fact, I actually didn't know that the people that also accompanied Mark Bezos and Jeff was the
Mark
oldest and
Bezos.
the oldest and youngest people ever to fly into space. We have the 82-year-old pioneer female aviator Wally Funk and Oliver Damien, 18, a physicist student. I mean, just imagine that, man. That's amazing. You know,
What was the 19-year-old's name?
Oliver Damien. My bad.
Yeah, that guy. The youngest man to go in space.
Yes, a
Probably
physicist.
going to be the youngest man to go in space for a long time because, I mean, probably gonna
Yeah,
have to be a certain age to go
probably.
in there.
Yeah, I mean, because obviously you got to be a certain age. I mean, I'm surprised an 82-year-old woman went in there because I mean
Yeah.
the toll to space space gives on you, because obviously you're gonna feel that pressure on your body. I'm not 100% sure how the spacesuits work, but maybe they improved it where you don't feel that pressure as much as you did back then.
The only thing that could kind of counteract that would be cushioning the suits, but then it would be way too big.
Oh yeah, you would get inflated like the marshmallow guy.
Yeah.
So, so yeah, Oliver, his seat was paid by his father, Joe's Damien, who was CEO of Somerset Capital Partners, and he was put on the crew after the winner of an anonymous 28 million auction. For the flight, he had to postpone due to his schedule conflict, but he still went. I mean, just it was really amazing, man. How you're like, just imagine your dad just telling you one day, you're being a physicist student and a physics student, my bad, and you're in college. Next thing you know, you get a phone call by your dad saying, "Hey, you're going to space with Jeff fucking Bezos."
Yeah, his dad actually forfeited his ticket because he had something better to do.
Yeah, a schedule. I mean, yeah. What the fuck? Like, what are you supposed to do? Like, just like be like, oh yeah, I have something better to do instead of go to space. Like what?
I gotta feed my dog.
Be like, yeah, yeah, Jeffrey's gonna get hungry. Maybe I shouldn't go. Here, take the ticket, son. like,
Yeah, I
like
named my dog after Jeff Bezos, by the way.
just to call him like Jeff Junior.
Jeff Jr.
I'd be like, but yeah, what the fuck? Like, what are you gotta do something better than going to space? That's an experience of a lifetime, man. Like, being able, because, able to see the Earth from that view is just amazing, man. I don't know if you viewers have seen, like, space videos, but you can see how the world is, and it's so beautiful up there, man. It's so beautiful.
Yeah,
And
well, from the pictures.
yeah, from the pictures and from the video, it looks so beautiful. So what the fuck do you got better to do than go to space? Maybe the
That
wife
is
was.
like even in our generation, the one that, like, in our lifetimes, we most likely, like, I'd say a 90% chance we are not going to be able to go to space. We're not going to be able to experience that.
Oh no, not this generation, because like I said, it's gonna be it's a billions of dollars, just of a space ticket, and I don't know where the fuck you're gonna take that money out of your ass. um,
If we're lucky, we might see the start of the colonization of Mars. If we're lucky,
oh yeah,
which
if
highly unlikely.
and and I mean, to be honest, maybe not, because humanity has improved in technology so much, you know, and I feel
Mhm.
like with the colonization of Mars, it's just gonna be a little bit complicated, because I feel like, well, the first thing that they have to do is to get the rocket ships get used to the cargo, because obviously they gotta get the big stuff on there. You gotta get water purifiers, you gotta get stuff. First of all, they gotta do experiments to see how to get the life form to work there. How to keep the
Yeah.
vegetables, how to keep the water run, and all that stuff. So it's gonna take them. It's gonna take them a while, but I mean, who knows? I mean, like I said, the technology right now is amazing. And who knows what could happen in 10 years or in 20 years. And we're gonna be old. We're gonna be old, but I mean, hey, we're still gonna be there to experience it.
Maybe. Yeah.
So the rocket ship was called the New Shepard. So it turns out Blue Origin took a lot of tests in Van Ford, Texas, which is so. Guess what?
Just going to
I just
intervene
found
here.
out.
A Blue Origin is actually the company, not the rocket.
Oh yeah, the rocket is called New Shepard. The Blue Origin is a company of Jeff Bezos and Mark. So, fun fact. Do you know what date Jeff Bezos and Mark Bezos went to space? They went.
It was like a month ago, right?
Well, yes, but the special date. It's a special date because the date that they went was on July 20th for the inaugural flight. Inaugural flight. It's significant because it's the same day in 1969 that Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin aboard Apollo 11 Eagle to become the first humans to land on the moon. And it's very nice. I mean, just like
Oh.
remembering the old legends, be like, it's like a tribute to them, pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah. Like a nod in their direction, like, hey, we're doing this on the
Be
same day.
like, thank you, man. Like, it'd be like, hey, you gave us, you put the foundation down. I appreciate you doing this.
We're gonna have to call that day Space Day. It's gonna be like a whole global event.
we're gonna call it. We're gonna call it Space Day, yeah. I think there is a Space Day. Let me look that up. I actually gotta know. I'm pretty sure there is a Space Day.
I highly think that there's going to be a space day for like a school thing, but I don't think it's a world thing.
International Day of Human Spaceflight. It is on the 7th of
Wait,
May.
what?
Yeah. I mean
Uh,
that's just what they do.
yeah, it's
But
April 12th.
yeah, so going back to what I said earlier, Jeff Bezos, he came down from the CEO. He was stepped down as the CEO, and I for one feel like Amazon is going to be a little bit better because I have seen so many workers protest and complain about how the Amazon workers have been treated.
How much space days are there? There's one on Tuesday, April 12th. There's one on the 7th of May. I guarantee I could find another one if I tried. I'm not going to though.
He's like not going to. So yeah, I mean, just Jeff Bezos acts like a really nice guy. And if you show anybody a first picture of Jeff Bezos, obviously they're gonna think he's an eraser. But then they're gonna see him and be like, oh, he's probably the nicest guy in the whole entire world. But with all they say, with Jeff Bezos being not that great of a CEO and everything, um, I for one I feel like it's gonna be a little bit better in Amazon. The workers are gonna feel a little bit different, um, because Jeff Bezos isn't like
Do you know
the
why he
world's
has his head like an eraser?
why.
So he can erase his big mistakes. Oh, got him. Oh, get the get the old Vine soundboard. Just get the oh.
Oh gosh.
That's a terrible joke. Moving on.
Moving on. So yeah, everybody's just been hating on Jeff Bezos recently, and it's just so weird. I mean, I feel like they hate Jeff Bezos because he's not Elon Musk. Elon Musk has connected with the meme community so much that everybody
He
just
has
like,
connected with the internet more than
oh
anybody.
yeah, than any other millionaire. And credit to him for what he's doing.
Keanu Reeves kind of did.
Yeah, but
Keanu Reeves did the
he's
same
not a
thing.
billionaire, and he's not like one of the like CEOs and everything. We mean
That's
like
true.
we
Yeah.
mean like company wise, Elon
Oh,
Musk.
we're totally gonna have a whole episode dedicated to Keanu Reeves.
Oh yeah, 100%. That's no doubt. So Elon Musk, he's just a completely different guy. I mean, there's some video clips where he has to be strict, but people keep in mind you have to be strict because if you own SpaceX, Tesla, and a lot of other companies in the world, you got to be strict, because you can't always be the nice guy in some things. You always got to show that power, that dominance, the alpha. Take out the
He
whip.
is the alpha male.
So yeah, I mean, with Bezos, completing his flight, it just leaves to Elon Musk. Where are you going? When are you going, Elon Musk? Just to be like,
Probably whenever he can guarantee his safety.
he has to have a Dodge dog as a flag right on top of the rocket. It has to happen, 100%.
He did, I think it was a competition, but he said if you like the most liked picture in he did this like on Twitter. He said the most liked image he would put on the moon. I don't know if that's true or not, or if I just heard wrong.
People say it's true. And I believe, but it's just what do they? How do they do that? Do they just like grab a picture and just nail that shit on the moon, or just like
I don't know, man. Elon Musk has his ways.
just get some nails and hammer and just like bow bow. Now it's on the moon.
Well, they probably just play the flag like Neil Armstrong did.
So, just, all right. Well, I mean, that's actually true. Good point. Good point. You got me there. So I mean, let's just talk for a minute of how much the humans have advanced in the technology. How we went from like normal cars to economical cars where that saves gas and like saves nature to cars that are electrical. You know, you gotta give a lot of people like underestimate because they always say, oh, humans are stupid and because we do this, we do that, and but they underestimate some of the people that are very talented.
Yeah, yeah.
And just
Uh, Go on.
and with like you said before, like with the colonization of Mars, I don't believe for a second that's gonna happen. You know, I don't believe for a second that one day the whole galaxy is gonna have hotels, McDonald's, the first McDonald's in space, ladies and gentlemen. Or maybe realistically though, you know what I see happening first, like the movies, like having space stations that have like rooms and stuff. What do you think? I feel like realistically that's actually something that could happen first. What
Uh,
What do you think?
I think I totally blanked out, and I want you to repeat that question.
I said realistically, what I see happening first is instead of like having hotels, because obviously it's gonna take them hella long to have like hotels, uh, you know, restaurants at the moon first and stuff like that. I feel like what they're gonna do first is have a space station, but like a huge space station, like you see in the movies, right?
Yeah.
And have rooms and actually like have people stay there and stuff like that. I feel like that's more.
So a hotel. I'm not gonna lie, that just kind of sounds like a hotel.
Well, I mean, yeah, pretty much. It's like a whole. It's like no, it's like more like a touristic thing. It's like an adventure park.
Ah, tourists. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
touristic more stuff. Obviously it's gonna be
Um,
expensive as hell, but I mean, obviously it's gonna start off with like billionaires buying the plane tickets. Well, not the plane tickets, but the rocket ship tickets to space first, and obviously, but then more in the future. People they're gonna lower the prices because then they're gonna have like restaurants and space and moon and stuff like that. They'll be like, all right, let's have the medium people go to space now.
yeah, that would be awesome. I do not think that that's gonna happen anytime soon.
Oh yeah, not
Probably not
anytime
even
soon.
in this century. But maybe it might happen. No, definitely not gonna be happening this century. Uh,
Who knows? Like I said, people have been advancing into technology very quick. So maybe in the century, I believe in the century. I believe for a fact, 100%, because I feel like one day everybody's gonna be like, all right, let's team up for a bit. Let's make this happen. Because just imagine
yeah,
how much credit it's gonna be the person be like, hey, we made the first tourism thing in space, and it's gonna be like the space station. Because obviously the space station is more like the first thing. I feel like it's gonna be the first thing they do to like have people go to space and stuff.
yeah. I highly encourage all the viewers out there, by the way, to go and look into like space hotels and the designs for it. It is very interesting, at least to me. If you're not a physics nerd and all that stuff, I, you don't have to.
Oh
Even to
yeah.
those people who do like it, you don't have to either. But I mean, I highly encourage you to. Anyways, as I was gonna say, uh, have you ever heard of I believe it was a galaxy highway or a space highway? It's something like that. But
Yeah.
I don't know exactly how it's done. I don't know the exact science behind it. I'll look it up in a minute here and I'll tell you about it. But it's practically where you can go really fast and go vroom. But
And
even
go
if you were to,
vroom.
yeah,
And go
even if you were to
vroom.
still like use those highways, it would take still way too long for an actual colonization to get to anything outside of our solar system. And not only that, but the the space highways, we can predict when they are going to happen because I believe it has something to do with the gravity of other
Oh yeah,
planets
yeah.
and it's like going to slingshot you. But
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now, and yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Let me just
mhm.
read this for the viewers real quick. A new superhighway network running through the solar system has been discovered by astronomers, and it could speed up space travel in the future. The highways allow objects to move through space much faster than previously thought possible. Wow, I actually did not know that. I actually because you see that in movies, correct?
Yeah,
I never thought that was actually a real thing, but yeah, it turns out it actually is. So it's like an airspace way, like so it's like pretty much like a.
think of it as a I don't know the name for it, but there's like even like highways in space. There's those exact things, but underwater.
Yeah,
For an example, Nemo, Finding Nemo. When the turtles come in, they're like riding that
yeah,
highway
it's like
thing.
it's like the air. Yeah, so it's pretty much like
Yeah, it's
a
exactly like
space,
that.
like the part of like the air and just pushes because that's where the asteroids like go move and everything, right? So,
Yeah,
and I actually see that happening. be like, because I feel like it would be easier to like customize cars to like go through that because you wouldn't need like an engine. You would more like need. I feel like it would be like more of a metro like
Why
thing.
you just said it as cars, not spaceship?
Because I mean, there's gonna be cars up there, you know, because they're not gonna call it spaceships. I don't think they're gonna
I
call it spaceships.
guarantee you they're gonna call it spaceships
They're gonna call it
or
space. All right,
spacecrafts.
they're gonna call it cars then.
All
Space
right,
car,
space cars. There you
space
go.
cars. The first Tesla space car, ladies and gentlemen.
Honestly, that might just be the first space car.
Yeah,
Space Tesla.
yeah, the space Tesla. That's actually very true. But I see it, you know,
Save the space environment.
I see it working more of as a train station. You know what I mean? I feel like it's gonna be, they're gonna have like if you know once they do have that technology to like customize because obviously they're gonna have to find a way to move it to where they want it to go. You know what I mean? Because
Uh,
obviously,
yeah. That's what I was just about to say. I might have already said it, but it takes a very long time for it to line up exactly how you want it to. So they're very unconventional when it comes to timing. Uh, and there's no way of us creating highways like that. It's going to be pretty much impossible for us. Even like with sci-fi stuff and all that, there's just no way. It,
yeah,
it's just out of our reach.
yeah, it just brings you, like I said, it brings you back to my point where I said like it's gonna take a while for the astronomers to actually, what's it called, study the airways and find a way to be able to, if there's any way, to actually like move them or like separate them. Because obviously,
Yeah.
I feel like maybe not create them, correct, or maybe actually, who knows? Because like I said, it's there. Maybe they could actually make it into a pod thing. You know what I mean? And they just
Actually, that's what I was just about to say. Is like maybe they could use that sort of idea to use in the spacecraft to propose itself
and
somehow.
they with that air highway, they calculate the pressure of how much pressure that highway has, so they can do exactly the same pressure on their little pods. You know what I mean?
I don't think that would have worked, but
Oh,
leading to my
it is more
next
reasonable though.
topic. Yeah, it is more reasonable, but leading to my next topic. Have you ever heard of an exoplanet?
Excellent. I have
Okay, go ahead and search that up as I talk about it. So an exoplanet is planets that are pretty much take Earth but amplify it. And it's not necessarily Earth, actually. It doesn't have life, but it is very sustainable compared to any of our planets that we've seen or anything like that. I believe it has water on these planets. That's why they're considered exoplanets, is because of water. That's what causes them. And every single exoplanet that we found so far, I believe, is bigger than the Earth. So there's more land and there's a lot of perks, but there's a lot of cons when it comes to exoplanets because while yes, there's a better uh hmm brain fart. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. Anyway,
no.
so exoplanets they're just big Earths, and it makes things better, but there's still those little like cons about it that we're gonna have to account for when we colonize these planets, because that will be probably the first planets that we actually uh like what's
Yeah,
colonize before Mars.
an exoplanet or an extrasolar planet, that's also their name. So it's pretty much a planet outside the solar system. So
Mhm.
so would you consider Pluto an exoplanet because they don't consider it a planet, and they
Well, but
consider
that's
it.
still on our. It's not a planet. No, it's a dwarf star. No, it was like a dwarf planet. It was something like
Well,
that.
yeah, they made it
Because I'm pretty
they
sure
like
dwarf stars are suns and all that.
yeah.
I'm actually positive that that's suns.
Would that consider that as an expo planet since they're like fuck you, you're not in our solar system.
No, I think Pluto is part of our solar system.
Oh no, I know, but some people just don't recognize it as one, so that's why I'm asking you. You think?
Oh, well, the especially the older generation, they definitely do because they've lived knowing that there, well, not knowing, but thinking that there was actually, I believe, 9 planets in our solar system. I'm pretty sure there's 8 now. Go ahead and look that up and fact check that. Uh, but
Sorry to interrupt you right there. The first
no, you're fine.
possible evidence of an exoplanet was noted in 1917, but was not recognized as such. The first confirmation of detection occurred in 1992, and then this was followed by the confirmation of a different planet originally detected in 1988. So, as of the 1st of August in 2021, there are 4,801 confirmed exoplanets and 3,552 planetary systems, with 789 systems having more than one planet. So, so pretty much, so it's like their own like it's pretty much a different solar system, pretty much, right?
Pretty
It's
much, yeah, but I guess I got the name wrong. But there's a certain name for planets that are pretty much like Earth, but better and bigger, I believe. I Here, actually, let me start. So,
so while
could you go ahead and
yeah,
talk about something?
so while he looks that up, so pretty much this exoplanets, like he said before, are like the bigger planets than any other size because the size comparison of Jupiter and the exoplanet TRES dash 3b has orbital period of only 31 hours and is classified as a hot Jupiter for being large and close to its star, making it one of the easiest planets to detect by the transit method. So pretty much, so it's like an upgraded version of each planet, right? It's because if
Yeah.
Jupiter has one, so that there's gonna be like other ones for like Earth, right?
Yes. That's exactly what. So I believe they're called Kepler planets. Not exactly sure, but they're all named Kepler, and then some numbers after it.
Yeah,
There's a lot of them actually.
yeah. I mean, like I said, there are 4,801 confirmed exoplanets, 3,552 planetary systems. I mean, that's a shit ton of fucking.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah.
lot, and 789 of them has more than one planet.
Hmm.
So the least massive planet, known as Dragor, also known as PSR, that's a long ass fucking name, which is about twice the mass of the moon. Wow, and that's the least massive planet. Wow, and
Yeah.
the most massive planet listed on the NASA exoplanet archive is about 30 times the mass of Jupiter. Holy Jesus, man!
Okay, so the specific thing that I'm talking about is Kepler 542b, and this planet is pretty much just Earth times two. The planet is sometimes quoted to be an Earth 2.0 or Earth's cousin based on its characteristics, also known by its Kepler object of interest designation KOI 711 or
Yeah, you don't
7016.01.
gotta say that those
Ah,
actual.
well, I mean, it's there, so it kind of do. No, it's good.
Mm.
Uh, is a super Earth exoplanet orbiting within the inner edge of the habitable. Hmm, habitable, guys. Yes, that's a new word I'm gonna make. Anyways, habitable.
Said it again, motherfucker.
Habitable zone of the sun-like star Kepler 42 or 5 or 452. Jesus, words. And is
Word.
the only planet in the dot. Okay, I'm not even gonna try that. But yeah, basically what I'm trying to get at is it's Earth, but just bigger and with more land and all that. Yeah. Sorry for my stumbling,
Oh,
viewers.
no,
Yeah.
it's alright. You're giving a lot of information. So, my question is back to the whole like living in like how do you think living in space is gonna be? Like, do you think each planet like how do you imagine living in spaces? Like, you tell me. Like, if all the planets have houses now, right? And they have their own, they're like countries now. Well, not like countries, but they have like the same things that the countries have. Like, it has a fire department, has everything. How do you expect it to like seem and how to work?
You ever seen The Passenger with Chris Pratt?
The passage, I'm not 100% sure.
That movie, great movie, by the way. Awesome movie. Love that movie. But that is what I hope and imagine space living to be like. Not the whole cryopods and all that stuff, but like how they lived in that, like on that station. I guess you can't really call that a spaceship. Uh, that's how I imagine that to be.
But with all that technology, do you really think that's how advanced we would be when we
Oh yeah,
Or
definitely.
do you
Well,
think,
besides like the whole
or do
magic
you?
food stuff.
I mean, who knows? I mean, do you think that maybe it would like they'll like have it as the old times? You know, maybe they'll find a way because what I think, because obviously people are gonna get so tired of wearing spacesuits every time they go outside, right? What I think is what they could do, you know, once they have all the planets, you know, discovered and conquered and all that stuff, have like a dome of air. You know what I mean? Like have a little dome around like, you know, the houses. Well, not like each house, but like an entire neighborhood. You know, and you know, if you want to go out, obviously they're gonna have like the pressure where it turns on and off. You know, like in a real space station. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like
I
with
think
that
what you're
bubble.
trying to talk about is the it was just in my head. Are you kidding me? The cord? No, not corridor. It's but I know what you're trying to say. It's like the room that's between space and then the actual room, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you know
I think it's a decompression chamber.
yeah, decompression station, a decompression chamber. A good one, Cam. Okay, so um, so yeah, like I was go back to my topic. The whole air, you know, the whole air thing situation. Obviously, they're gonna have to find a way for people to live with, you know, without spacesuits. So what I think it's gonna be like a whole dome. You know what type of dome I mean, right? You know, and they'll have like, you know, the oxygen inside that dome, so they don't have to wear spacesuits all the time.
What I'm thinking of is Springfield from The Simpsons and how they have like that
Pretty much,
dome
yeah,
around it.
exactly. That's exactly how it is. But obviously, they're just gonna have the decompression stations for the cars or the space cars or whatever you want to fucking call
The space cars. I just love how you're calling them space cars. That's awesome.
because they're cars in space. All right, they're gonna be space cars.
Flying cars, plane cars to you?
Yeah, plane cars. No, they're bird
Or
cars.
air
Actually,
cars?
no, they're bird cars.
The bear cars. Oh
Bear,
yeah.
bird cars. They got wings. They go caw caw.
The
So
gallows.
that's how I imagine, you know, living in space, you know, which I mean, if you think about it, it could work. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the
I
plants would be there for the oxygen and all that. Yeah.
you know, and obviously they'll have the water purifier by then and everything,
Mhm.
and by then they'll have galaxy satellite,
Yeah.
so you can see the TV stations of the aliens, like Rick and
Yeah.
Morty.
Most popular TV show even in like a century. It's just Rick and Morty.
So our last topic before we move on to a very important thing that we also want to say. What what things do you expect for like what do you think we are gonna have? Like what's the most craziest thing you can imagine that we're gonna have like in the future?
Honestly, I think it's going to be the ability to immortalize humans by turning them into data, I guess. I think that would probably be the most wackiest thing that I can think of being futuristic right now.
Yeah.
Because I think that would be so awesome to live in a computer. I mean, it sounds horrible now that I actually just said that, but
That sounds very horrible. You need to see a lot of movies so you can prove it wrong. You need to see a lot of movies, boy.
oh, a really good example is have you played Subnautica? You know about the precursors, right?
Yes.
Okay. Big spoilers, by the way, for you guys that have not played Subnautica. So if you want to play Subnautica, sorry, but you might don't click off the video, but just have it in mute. You know, just like give us some watch time.
Just for like a minute or two.
Yeah. So, all right, I'm gonna start spoilers. So the precursors in Sub Zero, the DLC that came out for Subnautica, he Al he is a part of this network of the precursors, and he can jump from body to body, which is insane. I'd love to do that. And so pretty much like every thought or like voice or anything that happens in the network, he hears and thinks too, like his as himself. So
Yeah.
it's pretty much like their entire species as one brain. That's why they were so smart and so sophisticated in their architects and all that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, I do believe like the immortalization and everything, but I don't think because have you seen that episode of Family Guy where Stewie and Brian goes to the future? I feel like it's gonna be like something where like Quagmire did, where like there's gonna be injections for like stuff like, oh, I got cancer, let me just psh, right there, boom, it's gone. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, like a cure-all thing.
Yeah, the cure all thing pretty much. Or like, oh, let me take a pill for this, boom. You know?
Yeah, yeah. And that could also tie into like my immortality thing. Like you take a pill and boom, you'll last forever or you'll stop growing.
It would be like, yeah, you'll stop aging and stuff like that. Obviously, it's gonna be expensive as hell, you know.
Yeah.
So what I believe, because I've always believed in this. I believe that either they'll have discovered, or at least they'll have something working on time travel. Huh.
Hmm.
I believe.
Honestly, time travel, it can't be a thing. The only thing that I could see being close to time travel is like having light be shown as it was at that point, like at that period in time. But I don't think we'll ever have a way to actually go back in time and change the course of events or anything like that.
Well, I'm not gonna go into very much detail because I don't even know how it would work. You know, if we would be able to go back in time because obviously with all the shows and everything that we all like we all see. Obviously, we all have seen the different movies about time
Yeah, it's like
travel.
one of the most cliche.
We got Endgame, we got Back to the Future, we got so many things. So
Yeah,
so
it's like the second biggest cliche besides zombies.
exactly. So I'm not gonna get very much into technical, but I feel like we'll be able to go back in time. But I feel like if I could decide of what exactly how it would work, I feel like it would be a one time thing. You know what I mean? Be like it's gonna be expensive as hell because obviously time travel is gonna be like such a big thing, and obviously if you want to do it, it's gonna cost you a lot. So what I mean about the one time thing is that the company or whoever does time travel first is gonna be like, all right, you're gonna do this, but you can only, you have to stay in that time that you chose, and you have to live your entire life again. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So
Yeah, I can kind of see that.
I like or like something. What I also think that it could happen is like a way to remember your memories. Like I don't know if you've seen that episode of Rick and Morty where like he has like a head thing, and then he goes back into that memory.
Oh,
Like the
so pretty
crystal
much like
thing.
cameras and vlogs that we have nowadays.
Well, yeah, but you'll be actually living in it. You know what I mean? And then you can change you could do, but without like knowing, because obviously, like, tell me, do you have a memory that you always wish you could go back to, and you want to relive that again and again and again?
No.
Oh
All the
damn!
memories that I like keep stored in my head are all embarrassing or horrible.
Oh damn! Are you okay? Do
Oh yeah, I'm good.
you need a hug?
No, I'm good. You stay away from me.
You stay away from me. What if that memory's you?
I want comfort, just not from you.
But yeah, I have very many memories that I would love to go back to and relive that. So I feel like either time travel is gonna be a thing where you can actually go back into that time period, or actually, like I said, like yeah, like going into like a video, but actually like reliving it and remembering that special moment that you had. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Um, I think it'd be
Or
really
actually,
awesome to like be in a game. Pretty much like virtual
yeah,
reality, but on crack.
that's what I was gonna go to. Yeah. So I saw a movie the other day where you would put a headset on and you would actually you like so the real life body would be dead, but you would actually be inside the video game. I mean, Ready Player One is a perfect example. That's how I imagine the future, exactly like that. Not all the future,
That would be pretty cool, but
but
do you
like the
know
gaming wise, you know what I mean?
yeah, and you know how in Wreck-It Ralph they have like this hub to where you can enter all different games and all that?
Yeah.
Yeah, like one of those, but for all the games of like ever created.
Oh yeah. So yeah,
There'll be just a specific section for all the Flash players,
on the
like the
last,
Flash player games.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I also a big thing that I was about to say. Thank you for reminding me. Like, I expect something to happen like in Ready Player One. Like instead of like consoles, PlayStation's gonna have like a PlayStation, virtual reality, but you'll actually have a suit so you can feel the things or in like stuff like that. You
Yeah,
know.
haptic suits.
Yeah.
Ah, we're gonna have a whole episode dedicated to virtual reality.
Oh yeah, 100%. So yeah, that is all the topics for today's episode. But we do have one more thing to say. Before we end this episode, we also want to talk about the future of the podcast. What our dreams and plans are. I don't know if you would like to kick it off first.
I would love to kick this off. So, my friend Killer here, I'm sure his mindset of like what I've heard from him saying and all that is he thinks that this is just a project and he doesn't really think that anything will come of this, but I have
Well,
strong
I do, but
hopes.
I just call it a project, because that's what it is. But I do
Yeah,
have high hopes
well,
for
it's good
this.
calling it a project because it won't hurt so bad if it fails.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
I think that this podcast could grow into a beautiful community. I want it to grow into a beautiful community. There's just we need people to make that a reality.
Make it,
So,
yeah,
you
exactly.
know,
I mean,
uh,
like I said, I think it was episode number two. I said our podcast is gonna be different because we are young, and
yeah,
obviously, I feel like a lot of people and teenagers can relate to our podcast. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So that's why I feel like the big community thing is gonna be very different because it's gonna be unique. Because I feel like it's gonna be unique for the reason because all the different podcasts are like adults already. You know what I mean?
yeah. I do think that it will be a lot of a better audience for teenagers and all that stuff, like to be a part of the audience better than anyone. Because yeah, it is. I feel like we're very relatable personally, but we haven't gotten anything personal yet. So
Yeah.
time will come. We will have episodes later on. I promise you. We already have like topics and everything up to episode 5 already.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're pushing these things out really fast. I love it.
Yeah,
Um,
because we really do. Keep in mind, guys, we do really enjoy making these podcasts because, like I said, we always had like talked about things and always had our different opinions on stuff, but we never had a way to hear other people's opinions on it. Because obviously, sometimes we both be like, "Oh, we're so right about this," but maybe one of you guys be like, "No, you guys are so stupid. That's completely wrong." And
please be part of the discussion.
yes, we always would like to hear what your opinions say and what you would like to say. And like I said, if you guys would ever like to hop on the podcast and talk with us with any topic, just like I said, our Discords are always in our description. So, DM us or email
Yes,
us.
big announcement. Yeah, guys, we opened our Discord server to people, to everyone. Just the only requirement is that you watch the podcast, uh, or have watched the podcast. Anyways, so come and just talk, chill, perhaps even give ideas or topics that you want us to cover in later episodes. Uh, the first one who joins will probably get special treatment because that's the first person to join. So keep that in mind. And thank you guys for watching up till the end. Really,
Yeah, we really do appreciate that always.
please, please share this with anybody that you can, uh, or don't. If you find that embarrassing, that's fine. But just all the publicity that we can get is all the help right now. Currently, we have had a lot of viewers, but no comments, no likes, no subscribers. So we're just kind of working on everything right now. Just trying to grow, get out there, have a good community. So
Yeah,
yeah, I think that's everything.
but we really do appreciate all you guys, support and everybody that's gonna support us in the future again. So,
Yeah.
thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next episode.
Bye bye.